Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be going to a local plant community plant swap hosted by the Dallas Plant Collective. As you can see right here, plant foldies, I am on my way from North Dallas down to Dallas, Texas. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video, as well as the hype button at the end. And then also give me a follow on my Instagram at Grow Folds if you haven't already. That is the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me. So as you can see right over here, I am almost at the North Haven Gardens where the plant swap is happening. I'm just really excited that I'm able to go ahead and participate at a Dallas plant community event such as a plant swap. So if you didn't know already, I am based out in North Dallas. I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie, and I typically do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos, but today is a special episode because we are highlighting the plant community in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which I think is super important because at the end of the day, as we plant shop or go to big box store plant shopping, we also need to make sure to highlight the local small businesses, local nurseries out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, because this is a very strong community and I love the people. I love engaging with all of the local vendors and growers and just plant enthusiasts. So we're going to see what plants we will find at this plant swap and feature many of the amazing vendors here. But it is a beautiful day and I am just really happy again to be able to finally get a plant swap video up for the YouTube channel, because these do happen often. I actually have a couple of other videos that I need to edit, but I was determined to make sure that I got the DFW Plant Collective plant swap. This is the big one where they had a huge plant swap at North Haven Gardens, and you can see right here I am about to park and get to North Haven Gardens. So North Haven Gardens is another local nursery that I like to visit, and I will actually do another future YouTube episode. But as you can see right here, we are now at North Haven Gardens, Dallas, Texas, and I am actually walking, and my friend Chris on Instagram actually saw me walking in and he already had his plants ready to go for the plant swap. So you can see right here, look at these cute little cuttings. These are plants for trade. And so whenever you go to a plant swap, you can either just bring plants to give to other plant lovers, or you can do what they call a plant trade, which is the reason why they would call this place a plant swap. But as you can see right here, we are about to go into the main event, which is the Dallas-Fort Worth Plant Collective plant swap. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the vendors. I'm going to do my very best to feature as many of the vendors in this event today. If I for some reason was not able to feature your booth for any of the vendors that actually showed up, I do apologize. There was just a lot going on that day. But as you can see right here, this is my friend at Dinosaur. That's his Instagram, and you can see that he is setting up his plants that he will be giving as a plant swap, or cuttings that you can do for trades, or just cuttings that you want to give to the local plant community. That is one way to, number one, create new friendships with other plant lovers. Number two, to successfully acquire plants at a budget, meaning free. So I always recommend joining these types of communities where you can interact with other plant lovers and share the love of plants through plant propagations or cuttings. So you can see he has a vast variety of different types of plants. I can see that he has a variegated heteroraceum. That's super cool, and a bunch of these begonias right over here. So this begonia actually reminds me of my grandmother, my Lola Belen, who is the original plant collector, plant lover. She is 90 years old, and I wish I could have actually taken her to a plant swap. But you can see this is a unique video today because we get to feature the local plant community, and to me that's very important, to feature the local plant community. I think as a content creator, especially featuring plants, it is really important to utilize our social media platforms to uplift and highlight the local communities that we belong to. So So as you can see right here, this is a begonia, a variegated begonia, and actually he offered to give me this free cuttings, or these free cuttings of this begonia. So I'm super thankful to my friend Chris. He mentioned that plants should be free. I definitely agree that plants should be free, and so his mindset of just sharing the love for plants is amazing. And so he has this little setup right over here. We'll see what kind of plants he ends up getting today, but all I know is the plant swap is definitely a super fun event to visit, and I hope that people will join the DFW Plant Collective. It is a community of many wonderful people, and today I'm going to feature the first vendor. This is at Big Leaf Jim. That's his Instagram. He has his own booth here. As you can see, it's giving us like plant show vibes, and what I mean by that is these plants look like ones that you would find, say, at the plant cons that I've gone to. And remember, Plant Con 2025 Dallas is happening October 18th and 19th, so be sure to check that out. But you can see right here, Epipremnoarium punsin. So this is actually a sport variegation that was found at Punsin's nursery out in Thailand, and you can see right here that is Jim. And shout out to Jim, Big Leaf Jim, really good friend of mine. I've known him for years, and just really excited that he has his own plants that he is vending. You can see right here we've got different types of rare and uncommon philodendron monsteras, syngoniums, pothos plants. And what's exciting about Big Leaf Jim is I will actually be doing a houseplant tour, more so like a houseplant raid at his house very soon. I know you guys really like seeing houseplant tours, so that is in the works. But look at his beautiful plants. And what I love about Big Leaf Jim's plants is he does bring a lot of the more uncommon and rare plants. But if you look at how he has curated at least the foliage of his plants, you can see he's got some leaf shine. The plants look super healthy and lush. And while some of these plants may have been imports, I wouldn't necessarily say that these are fresh imports, because clearly you can see that these plants are not really stressed or suffering. So super excited to see what other plants he has to offer. You can see he's got some neon pothos, or neon queen pothos, right over here. I really love this particular pothos plant. Any pothos plant in general is going to be an easy care plant, and you can see this one has a lot of new growth that's coming around. And can we just shout out Big Leaf Jim for really taking the time to present his plants, make sure that the leaves are clean, and these are very healthy looking plants. And we've got a sea of philodendron Florida beauties. We've also got some other types of philodendron hybrids. So if you haven't already, please make sure you are following at Big Leaf Jim on Instagram. Definitely connect with him. He is an amazing individual. I often see him at plant shops and plant shows throughout the country. We often see each other at Plant Con, but I really do love the fact that he is a local person out in the DFW area. So shout out to him. And if you are interested in buying any of his plants, you can also send him a direct message on Instagram, because he does have these plants readily available in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You can see right here, this is another philodendron that I cannot really pronounce, but either way, to see a semi-mature form is really nice. I love the Aurea. Now this particular philodendron is slightly finicky. You do not want to overwater it as well. And we're just going to go ahead and just show you all the other plants that Big Leaf Jim has at his booth. So as you can see right here, he is the plant swap show opener, and he is opening up as if we were already at an international plant show. And kudos to the organizers of the DFW Plant Collective. Kudos to all the vendors. And again, I do want to just put it out there that if for some reason you are a vendor at the DFW Plant Collective and I wasn't able to get to your booth, I do apologize. I definitely want to make sure that I get everybody featured. But whenever you are just interacting with a lot of the locals, you just kind of forget about time, and then you forget which booths you have. So I just want to put that out there, because I do not want to, number one, offend anybody, and number two, feel like I didn't try to represent this plant swap as best as I can. But anyways, going back to the plants, Philodendron melonii hybrid. This is the the marble version, beautiful plant, and I'm really loving this variegated spathiphyllum or peace lily. This one is called Sensation. I mean, look at that sectoral variegation, and Jim just needs to go ahead and get me like cuttings or something, because some of these plants I am not able to put within my budget. Although I would say if you are somebody that collects rare and uncommon plants, you definitely need to go to Jim's booth, because he does have these rare and uncommon plants at fairly reasonable budget friendly prices, considering these are plants that you will definitely not see at a local plant nursery or a big box store. And if you are thinking about getting these plants, most of these plants are going to be plants that you would have to get imported. And the good thing about, Jim's actual plants is the fact that they are already acclimated or have been in the United States for quite a bit of time. So the acclimation period has already started. And that's the thing about getting imported plants. There is this saying that some people just get plants and, fresh imports and flip them. He definitely doesn't do that. These are plants that definitely have been in the United States for a while. They have acclimated originally in Florida and then now in Texas. But as you can see right here, beautiful selection of plants. Like this one right here is one I've never seen. This one is an Epipremnum Colorado constellation. So it's got that like Monstera constellation vibe, but you can see that it's a semi-mature pothos plant. And the thing about pothos plants is if you allow it to grow in its natural way, which is basically wanting to attach to something and climb up, it will get larger leaves. It will even start to fenestrate. And so that is really the trend these days with pothos plants, is to actually get them to mature and get really large leaves, because you'll get some really interesting variegation. But you can see that Big Leaf Jim has not only a plethora of different types of pothos plants. Take a look at these variegated Scindapsus. So I don't want to not put the right plant ID. So I want to make sure that I'm just going to go ahead and say variegated Scindapsus, but he has many different forms of them. I really like this one right here. The marbling is really nice. And you can see this is another variegated Scindapsus. So he has smaller plants that he's also got available. So again, if you haven't already plantfold these, please make sure you have pressed the thumbs up or like button for this video. We definitely want to push this particular video in particular to more plant lovers like yourself. And whenever somebody pushes the like button and even presses the hype button once this video ends, it gets it to more plant lovers. And we really want to support the DFW plant community. I definitely want to make sure we highlight the Dallas plant community. So please do that, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel with all the notification bell on. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to keep picking up some of these plants. Feel free to leave in the comments what you think. And this is going to be a fun plant swap today. First love has always been Syngoniums, and I am back in love with Syngoniums. You never forget your first love, right? Anyways, you can see right here, he has some Syngonium lime soda. So I really love a Syngonium lime soda. The reason being, it's got that neon yellowish color on the foliage, and these plants are really plants that are really tough to get, at least in the United States so far. Even if it is a Syngonium, and Syngoniums pretty much grow like weeds, Syngonium lime soda, I ended up having to get mine from overseas, actually Indonesia, but you can see that Jim actually has the Syngonium lime sodas there. Beautiful plants, and I often think about some of my loyal plant foldies, such as Angeli, who actually collects Syngoniums. So if you are interested in purchasing some of his more uncommon or rare Syngoniums, you can send a direct message to Jim on Instagram. I told Jim that I would definitely put him out there to really promote his business, and it's just nice to see many amazing plant collectors, plant growers, plant enthusiasts enthusiasts that live out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And that's what makes content creation fun for me, is these local plant swaps where I can engage and interact with all of these other local plant lovers. Now over here, plant foldies, you can see we've got a Syngonium willandii, also known as a variegated Syngonium willandii, scrambled eggs. You can see that this one is still an uncommon Syngonium. It is one that is a little bit more tough to grow in a sense because it's slower growing and it's a little bit more spider mite prone because of its velvety textured leaves. And I absolutely love a Syngonium Japan Red. Take a look at that. Such a beautiful plant, and that leaf shine is just giving it all of the beautiful feels. I need this one, Jim. Please give me this one. I need this Syngonium. But truthfully, if you are interested in buying his plants, you can get those plants here. And then we also have a Syngonium Ormthong, and I really like the Syngonium Ormthong. I actually got one of these from my friend, a Plant of Tukta. She wasn't actually at the plant swap today, but she is also another local plant grower, plant collector, plant seller out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But that Syngonium Ormthong is a really nice one. I like the round, robust leaves. And then we also have a Syngonium Pink Lava. And if you like pink plants, if you like Syngoniums, here you go, right over here. So Syngoniums are, popular plants. If you ever go to these plant swaps, you will notice that a lot of our sellers or people that are doing plant swaps have a lot of Syngoniums readily available, whether they're fully rooted cuttings or just cuttings in general. I love Syngoniums because they are very easy to propagate. I haven't ever heard of any Syngoniums that are tough to propagate in water, but as you can see right here, he does have even more Syndapsis. This one is a Syndapsis Black Mamba. That's another uncommon one that you can find. And you can also find that these Syndapsis again. So I think I'm gonna have to go to Big Leaf Gym to start my Syndapsis collection, because I often see Syndapsis say whenever I go to a big box store and do big box or plant shopping videos, but not to the extent of his collection that he has here. We also have some variegated Adansonii and other variegated plants. And that was the first booth I went and visited. You can see all of the beautiful variegated plants. You already know, plant foldies, that oftentimes we are gravitating to these variegated plants. And so I wanted to start off the plant swap by featuring Big Leaf Gym's plants. And now we are looking at creative garden art. This is at Jane.secretgarden. Definitely follow on Instagram. So Jane is my new friend from Malaysia, and you can see that she has so many creative planters. She has a lot of succulents and cactus and just many different plants. So it's a very eclectic selection of plants. I really loved Jane's good vibes only. She was really friendly and she was really excited to feature a lot of her plants. So she is based out in Garland, Texas. So definitely follow her Facebook, follow her Instagram, let her know that you are a plant foldie, part of my community, and let's support a local and small business out here. But you can see that she does have many unique cactus and succulents, and just take a look at the planters. So when you think about creative garden art, it really is definitely creative and a work of art, because a lot of these planters, the way they are presented is definitely art. It's more so like an installation. And I like that, me being an art major, me getting my degree in fine arts, I have a natural inclination to actually appreciate this type of work. You can see right here, mermaid cactus. I love it. She was telling me the secrets on how to grow one. I actually want to add a mermaid cactus to my plant collection. Just look at how beautiful the coloration is. So things to also know whenever you are going to a plant swap is you don't necessarily have to bring plants to go plant trade. You can offer people for a price for some of their plants, but also with the vendors, you can just go plant shopping. So it's on a smaller scale, but a more intimate scale in terms of just buying plants. But you can see that this particular booth has a lot of succulents and cactus, but Did you know that this was the only vendor that I ended up buying a plant from? And it's because you can guess at the very end, or you can go ahead and leave a comment and see what plant I ended up buying. But as you can see right here, very creative planters. So we've got a Tradescanthia here and some more plants. This is some type of pothos. I'm not sure. I'm going to assume that it might be some type of Japanese pothos, or it could be a neon queen pothos. This one is only for $15. And if you know the exact plant ID, please leave that in the comment section. I was really going to try to label all of the plants at the plant swap, because that means I kind of put a little bit more effort. It does take a little bit more time to actually label the plants, but I feel like for a local community event like this, I definitely want to put as much effort to presenting the plant community as well as the vendors. I mean, you can see right here, she's even got bromeliad, kokedama. So we've got like really unique planters, very creative planters. We've got different ways of styling and presenting the plants. So I was really happy to see that. And you can even see right here, Epipremnum pennatum Cebu blue. So we were just talking about how our home country, so my family is originally from the Philippines. Malaysia and the Philippines are neighbors, and oftentimes we talk about these plants just being endemic to our home countries. Variegated jade bonsai. I really love the look of that jade bonsai. And just to let everybody know, I am an official affiliate of the Bonsai Supply. So go to the bonsaisupply.com if you want to buy bonsai supply soil or bonsai supplies in general. Use my promo code GROWFOLD and you will get 10% off of your purchase. Now let's go ahead and keep picking up plants. And this was the Aglaonema candy cane. That is the one plant that I ended up getting at the plant swap today. Look at this. This is actually a propagation that Jane did, and we talked about the love of Aglaonema. She's really gotten into it, and I told her that I had so many different types of Aglaonema. So I am really excited to get this, because look at how lush and full this Aglaonema is. Feel free to leave in the comments if you would have bought this Aglaonema, because I definitely wanted to buy it. And we just talked about how this beautiful plant was one that most people would overlook, but to me, I was walking around the plant swap highlighting Aglaonema, because you already know I am under the campaign, our campaign to hashtag popularize Aglaonema. And for the plant foldies or the community that didn't know, I am in collaboration with my friend Harry of Indo Miami Plants of Art Garden Flowers on Instagram, where we are actually creating an Aglaonema hard cover book. So definitely check that out soon. Now we are looking at the Plant Loft. At theplantloft.us is the Instagram name. And we got to talking about some of these more uncommon and rare plants available. Really happy that the Plant Loft is actually based out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which means I can have access to some of these amazing plants. And I just had the most wonderful conversation with the seller of all of these plants here. So you can see we've got some more variegation. And that's the thing about going to plant swaps or these local Dallas plant swap community events, is you can source out rare and uncommon plants. You don't necessarily have to go online and buy them. You can actually just go to a market like this or a plant swap and buy these plants. I mean, take a look at this Homalomena pink diamond. It is for $80, which I still think is a really good price, considering a couple years back these were like $300, $400. And so now these are starting to go down in price. So if you are looking for that wish list plant, you can definitely go to a plant swap by the DFW plant community. You can see right here, this is the Alocasia Anturo Velvet. I actually had this Alocasia. I tried to put it in LECA. It did not do well. It actually screamed to go to plant heaven. So I ended up actually growing out the corms, which I still need to transfer into Lechuzapalm, but that is a beautiful Alocasia. And you can just see that this is such an eclectic but beautiful selection of different types of plants. You can see we've got a beautiful begonia right here, for instance. This one is a little bit more of a finicky begonia, so you're going to need a little bit higher humidity levels, but I will just admire this from afar. The Plant Loft does have many different types of plants, and you can also follow them on Instagram. You can probably send them a direct message if you are interested in purchasing the plants. Now, in terms of shipping these plants, I'm not 100% sure if the plant loft does that. So definitely send a direct message to see if that happens. So in terms of just all of these plants here, I'm just going to go ahead and just pick up some of these plants, show you them. Feel free to leave in the comment section what plants you like. And again, I'm going to go ahead and shout out the DFW Plant Collective for really setting up such a beautiful event today that I was able to participate. This actually was, filmed during my 3-day weekend where I was off, and it was just amazing to spend some time with Luke, but also spend some time interacting and engaging with the local DFW plant community. So let's go ahead and just keep looking at some of these plants and admiring the beauty of these local plant vendors and their plants. Now we're looking at another booth called Posh Pets and Plants, which is based out in North Dallas, all the way up, I believe, in Salina, Texas. And so you can see right here, we are just getting that PlantCon show vibes where we're getting these rare and uncommon plants. But again, this is a local Dallas community event. So I love that we can go and find beautiful plants, very cost-effective plants from local growers and sellers and plant lovers. So again, if you haven't already, please make sure you are following their Instagram socials, their pages, and also following at DFW Plant Collective on Instagram. Let them know you're a plant foldie. And I was actually eyeing this. So this is a really nice full syngonium right here. You can see that it is just a really lush and full syngonium. So these are propagations by Posh Pets and Plants. I definitely want to try and connect with this seller again because I am in love with my syngoniums, and somebody ended up buying this particular one, which I don't blame them for. I actually was able to meet up with some people that were really into specific plants, and that's the thing about these plant community events is the amount of people you just get to interact with, the amount of people that you can just have fun and really celebrate plants. Like right here, this is a Monstera Thai constellation, but this is a creme brulee, and for only $45, that is not a bad price at all. And then we also have some more of these different types of syngoniums. I mean, take a look at this one right here. Really nice looking syngonium. And as far as syngoniums, again, the plant care I would recommend for anybody that grows syngoniums is make sure you are staying on top of the watering. And what I mean by that is do not let them stay dry for too long, otherwise they will rebel. But this particular vendor again has some amazing plants to choose from. This one right here even has the Epipremna Arium Valencia. So this is a Japanese Teruno World pothos, and you can see that they have these available. So these Japanese pothos are starting to make it out into the US market, and it's always nice to see a plant that is often overlooked at big box stores and even local nurseries as something that is considered uncommon and rare. So this one right here is a blue oiled fern. This one is only for $15. So really beautiful, shiny, waxy foliage on that blue oiled fern. And then we also have, I believe, a variegated melanochrysum. I'm not quite sure. We'll see. Yes, so this is another beautiful one. that you can get. So if you want these rare and uncommon plants, again, these plant swaps just make it super exciting and super fun. I will ask the plant foldy community that is not out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to let me know in the comment section if you are part of any of your local plant communities and how your events happen, because I have to say, and I have to brag, that the DFW market is definitely a very strong community. It is a force to be reckoned, because even if we were to not have like all of these other vendors from all over the country, we could still stage a pretty amazing plant show. And so I'm just really excited for the PlantCon Dallas show that is happening in October of this year, because there's going to be so many local Dallas-Fort Worth sellers. So stay tuned for that. But as you can see right here at Posh Pets and Plants, lots of amazing plants, very cost effective. And here is another Syngonium that I wish I could have bought. So maybe I will end up, connecting with them, because look at how beautiful that variegation is, and even the irregularity of the leaves. So let's continue to just pick up these plants and go on to the next vendor. Next vendor I wanted to feature is at Eupholia.plants or Eupholia Plants. This is my friend Melanie, who is also a fellow Kababayan or a Filipino American. She is based out in North Texas as well, and she has some amazing plants. She is really known for her iconic Monstera mint, which I will show you in just a little bit. But again, plant foldies, are we not getting these like PlantCon, plant show vibes from a Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas plant swap? I mean, the DFW Plant Collective has some amazing plants here. I mean, you can see right here, we've got some nice one leaf, one node albos, Monstera albos. And these, I believe, were only for $45. So if you want one that has some really good variegation, really good genetics, you can go to Eupholia Plants. You can send a direct message to the Instagram. Not 100% sure if she actually ships out these plants, but it doesn't hurt to ask. I'm just glad that I am in close proximity to Melanie, because there is a plant that I've been eyeing out for a while, and that is going to be her Monstera mint, if she gets any babies that are ready, because I still have to save a little bit of money for my budget. I totally understand the price that is being asked for those Monsteras, because it is such a beautiful specimen. But her Monstera albos are also amazing, really good genetics. And remember, with Monstera albos, it's not always about the amount of light you provided. It's really the initial genetics of the plant. If it's got higher variegation, it's most likely going to push out some more variegation that you want. So there's various degrees of variegation on Monstera albo, but take a look at her Monstera mint so you can see how beautiful it is. And what I like about the Monstera mint is that she has really good like sectoral variegation. So this is one of her babies that she has ready to go and is on sale right next to a beautiful pink Homolamena pink diamond. So, but you can see right here that Monstera mint is absolutely stunning, and she's going to show us her mother plants that she actually propagates from. And that's another reason why it is so awesome to be able to go to these local plant community events, because you can see the growers. This is another one of her Monstera mint mother plants. That's actually a baby, I believe, from her main mother plant. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, When you talk about a Monstera mint, this is definitely the potential it could be. She has more Monstera mints in the works. So if you are looking for a beautiful Monstera mint, definitely follow eupholia.plants on Instagram and take a look at that. Hit the pause button if you need to hit the pause button for this video to see how gorgeous her mother plant is. And you know, that's another thing I really like about these local vendors is that these plants are being propagated by from them, and it's a really good feeling to see that these plants are being grown in the local DFW community. I mean, you can see right here, Philodendron Red Anderson only for $25. Mine ended up going to Plant Heaven. A lot of my plants ended up actually going to Plant Heaven because of, truth be told, a little bit of neglect, but also just, a little bit of neglect, drought, whatever you want to call it. So for me, I've kind of learned my lesson in terms of what plants I want to grow. You already know Plantfoldies that I like to grow Aglaonema. And even if I do appreciate all of these beautiful plants, for instance, like all of these Hoyas, I don't necessarily feel like I have to buy every single one. I could admire them and support the vendors, the sellers in other ways, such as promoting them on my YouTube channel. And you can see right here, Melanie was telling me that she ended up getting the Hoya bug earlier this year, because I know when she actually was part of the DFW Plant Collective a little while back, she didn't have any Hoyas available, but you already know what happens. You get one particular plant, then you add another plant, and then all of a sudden you are wanting to acquire and collect them all. I totally understand the Hoya craze, because these are such durable, beautiful, diverse plants with even beautiful blooms. So I totally get it if you are a Hoya head. Shout out to anybody that is all about Hoyas. Please make sure you are letting your presence known in the comments section, and let me know what you think about Eupholia plants. I really do believe she has some very healthy plants, high quality plants, and they are priced effectively. I mean, you can see right here, Syndapsis exotica right here, and this one is a really large leaf, Syndapsis for instance, and she says that she has a really good mother plant that she propagates from. And so for this one is for $20, but I can understand why that is the asking price, because if you look at how large the leaves are, and you can see that this is the actual mother plant. So hit the pause button again for this video if you want to see the mother plant. But I absolutely love talking to Melanie, and it is really nice that she is able to maintain a hobby, being a mother of 2 kids. And I don't know, it's just really nice to also meet fellow Filipino Americans. I do believe that the Filipino community in general has a very strong presence about, the plant community. And I will say this, a little fun fact about Filipinos: no matter what part of the world you might be, if you are Filipino and you meet another Filipino, we are always trying to support each other. There is a term called the kababayan spirit, and I really believe that, because anytime I meet somebody that is also Filipino or Filipino American at these plant swaps, plant community events, plant shows such as like Plant Con or Texas Aeroid Show, we just had that initial connection. And I really appreciate Melanie for always showing kindness, for also just having these amazing plants. It makes me believe I can have an amazing plant collection like her and possibly sell plants in the future. So we'll see. If I am going to participate in a local plant swap like this, I would definitely sell Aglaonema, because, as much as all of these plants are gorgeous, I mean, take a look at this Homelamena Pink Diamond. There's not a lot of plant sellers that are really selling Aglaonema, and I'm hoping with the hardcover book that I am in collaboration to publish and hopefully have available at PlantCon for sale, that might create some interest, spark some awareness, and get more people involved in growing Aglaonema. But again, let's go ahead and just finish off and showcase Melanie's plants. I do think Eupholia Plants is one of the best plant vendors out there. So please follow her socials and support her small business. next vendor, I didn't get the full name, but I know the Instagram name is at A Hoya There, Texas. So definitely follow this vendor right here, which features so many beautiful starter Hoyas. These are rare and uncommon Hoyas, and I was really eyeing a lot of these starter Hoyas. If you ever want to like start a collection, one thing I will also say about going to a plant swap is either you can trade for cuttings, small starter plants, or even purchase small starter plants or propagations like this. I was very tempted to buy this Hoya Arena, for instance, because look at that green on green variegation. Beautiful Hoya, and that is a really, really good price considering that this Hoya goes for a lot more. And so plant swaps, you know, DFW Plant Collective has a lot of budget-friendly, cost-effective plants. These are, you know, plants that have a very good lower price option, and I'm just really happy to be able to see this and have this as a resource living out in the DFW area. So let's just continue to pick up some of these plants right here. If you are a Hoya head, definitely give some comments and some support for this particular vendor at this plant swap. In case anybody is wondering what the soundtrack that is playing right now, it is called Sunset by my friend Jordan, who is also part of the DFW plant community, my Kuya Jordan. He's also another Filipino American. And like I said, again, we just definitely try to support each other. So shout out to him for creating the original tracks for my YouTube videos. It definitely helps with non-copyrighted music, and it gives this channel more of a brand recognition vibe, because you already know these are my official tracks, and we're just gonna go ahead and continue to celebrate the DFW Plant Collective Plant Swap. You can see there was another vendor here, and unfortunately I did not get the vendor's name, so please feel free to leave in the comments if you are the vendor or know the vendor that has these plants. You can see that there are so many other plants that are available, ranging from plants that even we see at big box stores. So we've got a lot of ficus, for instance, and other plants available for sale and trade. So the next vendor we have is at Vic and Vines. Vic and Vines, Vic is actually a good friend of mine. I absolutely love her energy, her vibe, her kindness, everything about her. So definitely follow her on Instagram. But I am so shocked when I saw a variegated oxalis over here. This one is another very rare, uncommon plant, however you want to call it. The only way I thought I would be able to get a variegated oxalis was to actually get it imported from overseas. But you could see she has this available. She has this readily available for anybody that wants a variegated oxalis. I like it, and I'm hoping to be able to acquire one of these from her at some point. I definitely need to save a little bit of money, but at the asking price, if you were to buy this from overseas, I believe is like $200. So, you know, you can get it for a little bit more budget-friendly price, and you can see that this one has some pretty good variegation. And the thing about that variegated oxalis is once you get one, it does produce corms, and you're able to propagate and get more out of that plant. So it's just a matter of time until I can get one of those plants. And then you can see right here, Vic actually has a lot of Hoyas. And that's another thing that if I were to buy Hoyas or start a Hoya collection, I would go over to her place and actually try to get some of the Hoyas that she has in cultivation and growing. And another thing I wanted to highlight about Vic and Vines is that she is one of the official U.S. distributors for Lechuza Pond. So if anybody is interested in getting bags, definitely go through her. And she also has the special type of sphagnum moss that she also distributes. So definitely follow her on her Instagram, send her a direct message, let her know you are a plant foldie. Let's go ahead and leave some wonderful comments for Vic and Vines. I'm just really happy that I was able to see her, and it's exciting because she will be vending for the first time at PlantCon 2025 in Dallas, Texas. So if you are a Hoya head, if you love supporting local and small businesses, if you are somebody that lives out in the DFW community, definitely check out Vic and Vine's booth at PlantCon. I feel like the DFW Plant Collective Plant Swap was kind of like a precursor or kind of like an appetizer for what is ahead. I am hoping that maybe someday I'll be able to participate as a vendor, but you already know, Plant Foldies, in addition to me having a very demanding career in creating content, it sometimes becomes a little bit overwhelming. But the next vendor I have here, and I feel so terrible that I was not able to get the vendor's name, but all I will say is that this vendor really specialized in some very uncommon and rare syngoniums. So you can see right here that for the syngonium lovers like myself, for instance, I really wanted to gravitate to this particular booth. They had a lot of rare and uncommon syngoniums, and these are starters. So I would say even if you pay a little bit more for a starter syngonium, like for instance, the syngonium tricolor chocolate is what I want because this one's $45. But when you think about this, it will grow fairly fast, and once it starts to vine, you can propagate it. So I just feel like with syngoniums, they're a plant that, yes, you can pay a premium for them, but once you pay a premium for them, and I don't even think that the asking price is too much for these syngoniums, considering a lot of these syngoniums you would have to get from overseas. And, you know, as far as some of these syngoniums, again, it is all about supporting local and small businesses as well. And so I was just really happy to finally see the seller. I mean, take a look at this. This is a syngonium strawberry ice marble. I mean, look at that variegation that's popping out on this syngonium. Super cute, which makes me very much so inspired to chop up all of my syngoniums that I have growing to propagate and possibly, you know, sell. This one right here is the syngonium brown lava. So you have the pink lava. This is the brown lava, and this one is for $55. Really good starter plant. So if anybody wants to gift me syngoniums, I did want to put it out there that there is an option on YouTube called a super sticker or super thanks, where you can send a monetary tip for a content creator. That definitely helps with the channel. And I did want to put it out there as well that if you want to see more exclusive content or just member only content, you can definitely subscribe and actually join my YouTube membership tier, which is called the Super Plant Foldie. So for the price of a cup of coffee, it's only for $2.99. You will get access to a lot of member only videos. So definitely check that out. You can press the join button if you're watching on a computer, or you can click the pinned comment in the comment section as well. But as you can see right here, Plant Foldies, I am back at Vic and Vines. I just had to go back there actually and chat with my friend Vic because I have not seen her in quite a while. So that's what I ended up doing. But I also wanted to go ahead and highlight her Hoyas and just showcase her plants. Again, please make sure you are supporting her social media. So definitely give her a follow and let her know that she has some amazing Hoyas. And if you're interested in Lechuza Pond and that special sphagnum moss, she is an official distributor out in the DFW area. Now, the next booth is another friend of mine, a fellow Filipino American. His name is Mark's Aeroids, so follow him at Mark's Aeroids to see some beautiful plants. So he really specializes in a lot of anthurium hybrids, philodendrons, and monstera. That is his niche, and so I'm not even going to attempt to try to get all of these anthurium names because number one, I don't want to butcher them, or nor do I really want to mislabel them, but just know that you can now go to a local plant swap like this and see some amazing high quality anthurium. So this anthurium, he has so many different types of anthurium, so many different types of philodendron and monstera, and he has them priced at an effective price. But I think the really big draw for Mark is the fact that he has a bunch of these really cool looking anthuriums. And again, the next vendor I'm going to feature, Caleb's Tropicals. I am super excited that I will be able to feature his anthurium collection and really deep dive into the world of anthuriums, because let's just face it, let's recognize the fact that anthuriums are a trending plant. It is a gorgeous plant. Everybody wants anthuriums, and so I am really just trying to comprehend and educate myself on the world of anthuriums. But in terms of Mark's Aeroids, what you'll see at all of these plant swaps, because he typically shows and sells and vends at a lot of these local plant swaps and markets, is that you can find cost-effective plants for a really good price. Like we got a philodendron, variegated micans only for $35, and you can see that there's already several vines, so you can chop this up and get more. I ended up getting a variegated philodendron pedatum from Mark about a year ago, and I was able to chop up that philodendron and have many propagations from it. So a lot of my more rare and uncommon philodendron came from Mark's Aeroids, and so I just, again, wanted to highlight the fact that the DFW Plant Collective, the DFW plant community in general, is a very diverse and strong community. You can see right over here, he does accept payments via Venmo and Zelle, and definitely cash. Definitely follow at Mark's Aeroids on Instagram. Let's go ahead and boost up his following and make sure we get that engagement for him. And I'm going to show you this. Look at this Monstera Jungle Mint. So you can see that it's got high, pretty much all white variegation, but you can see that the newest leaf that unfurl has speckles of white. So I was actually tempted to purchase this one. This one is for $70, but you know, I haven't necessarily gotten into monsteras, and the reason being is monsteras, just as they grow, they get larger, and you have to think about the space that you have. But needless to say, for anybody that is into collecting monsteras, variegated monsteras, Mark's got some amazing ones. I ended up getting a Monstera aurea from him, and you can see there's one in the background a little while back as well. So as far as anthuriums, as far as philodendron, as far as any of these uncommon plants, I don't know if he even actually grows alocasia. He might, but you can always send him a direct message on Instagram. He will reply and let you know if he has any of these plants. Again, I'm not sure if he actually ships plants, but what I do know is he does have a lot of these anthuriums available locally. So you don't necessarily, if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I would highly suggest, joining these plant community groups. Definitely make an effort to try to make it to a plant swap. If I didn't have to work on certain weekends, my job really demands, it's like non-negotiable. If I end up having to work on the weekends, I have to, but I would try to make every single open market plant swap that any of the local plant community offers, because again, it feels like a international plant show, but you can see that this is the DFW plant community, and I am super proud to be part of the DFW plant community, in a sense that even if I don't necessarily sell plants, just the fact that I could utilize my social media platforms to really uplift, create awareness, and celebrate these wonderful vendors, these wonderful individuals, these wonderful plant lovers. It is all about the good vibes vibes, and that's really what you get whenever you go to a plant swap, is really good vibes. And that's really the energy we need to have in terms of just having a plant community, especially in the DFW market, where we have a lot of competition. We have a lot of big box stores. We have a lot of local and small vendors. We want to make sure that at the end of the day, just like this plant swap, that we are out here supporting each other, uplifting each other, and showing that kindness. So let me get off my little blurb, but you already know that I like to foster that type of community, because it is really important to remind people that these are just plants. Let's make sure that we are going about it the right way and making sure that we are supporting each other. Now, the next booth is Caleb's Tropicals. At Caleb's Tropicals is his Instagram. And if you have not heard of Caleb's Tropicals, I would be surprised, because Caleb has amazing anthuriums. Caleb is a friend of mine that I met throughout the plant swaps. I see him often, and I really love the fact that he is a local DFW person that actually hybridizes and creates his own hybrids for these trending anthuriums. You can see that he has these available. This one is for $50. But as far as quality anthuriums, just know that Caleb has it. He is able to ship nationwide, I believe. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of our anthurium enthusiasts, anthurium lovers, anthurium addicts know about Caleb's Tropicals. And I did want to announce that I am so excited that Caleb is going to let me do a houseplant tour of his anthuriums and really deep dive into the world of anthuriums, because for me, I just don't know enough about anthuriums to really, I suppose, get into them. Like, I find them beautiful. I recognize that they are a beautiful plant, but more so the lineage and the possibilities of creating your own hybrids. I think that that's a lot of the draw. I also think structurally and just the nuances of the leaves is also the draw for it. So for me, these are definitely living works of art, but knowing that we have somebody that hybridizes and grows anthuriums in the DFW market by the name of Caleb, that is amazing. And I really hope that his small business for anthuriums continues to grow. I would love to see him continue to be a force to be reckoned when it comes to anthuriums and just hybridizing it. So stay tuned for that video. I'm hoping that I can represent his work in the best of my ability in terms of posting it on YouTube, because I don't think we necessarily have a video out there that really highlights anthurium hybridizers out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And to me, I feel like that is really the joys of being part of this community. And as you know, I've pretty much been a little bit more repetitive when it comes to just talking about the local community, because I think if you are going to be somebody that is on social media, if you are somebody that is involved with your community, I think that that is kind of the duty of somebody that is a content creator. I think you have to really make a genuine, sincere effort to connect with the community you belong in, because I believe that a local community is what makes you even more of a force to be reckoned on social media. I don't know, let me know in the comment section. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you think about that. But I think that as content creators, it's not always about the individual behind the camera or in front of the camera. It is about the plants, and it is about the individuals that grow these plants. And so, like for Caleb's Tropicals, look at this. Absolutely stunning. I need it all. Let me know what you think in the comments section about Caleb's Tropicals. Next vendor we have is at Cactus Temple on Instagram. Cactus Temple is also another local vendor out here. And in terms of cactus and succulents, that is one area of plant expertise I have no idea of. But what I do know is that this vendor has amazing specimens. I mean, like, I truthfully believe that, you know, when I went to the plant swap, the DFW Plant Collective, I just really felt like I was at, like, say, a big major show such as PlantCon, or maybe even the Texas Aeroid Show, because when you look at the specimens they have, the diverse types of plants that they have, the vendors that they have, and all of the plant enthusiasts and lovers. Again, I just want to shout out to the plant community, how amazing the DFW plant community is and how it continues to grow. I also wanted to shout out all the vendors and the people that I got in contact with and been able to talk about plants. I was really happy to be able to talk to the vendor about my interest and say that mermaid cactus or mermaid tail cactus, that's something that I wanted to get. And all of these cactus right here were grafted by the vendor himself, and so I will definitely be buying cactus and succulents from this particular vendor, because when you look at the plant pricing of some of these plants and how they're already in a succulent mix, it is a really good price. So for anybody that is into euphorbia, succulents, cactus, crested cactus, I would definitely recommend the Cactus Temple. So make sure you are following at Cactus Temple on Instagram, and you can just see the beautiful varieties of this. And I did want to point it out again that in terms of, cactus succulent mix, I do have an affiliate link code for the Bonsai Supply soil. They also sell succulent and cactus mix. If you go to the bonsaisupply.com and use my promo code GROWFOLD, you'll be able to get 10% off your entire purchase. So here is another one of the vendors that I remember buying a variegated philodendron green Congo. I believe that it was, and some other plants. And I am just really excited to see that this particular vendor right here, who doesn't have an Instagram page, has some amazing plants, very diverse selection of plants. So if you like Syndapsis, if you like philodendron, if you like alocasia, if you like Hoyas, and if you like begonias, there are many plants to choose from, whether it's starter plants or even more established ones. I ended up getting a variegated green Congo a while back from this particular plant swap, actually the DFW Plant Collective. And so here I am again featuring this. So hopefully you guys like these types of plants. You can see this one is for $85. This is a really interesting alocasia. I've never seen it before. It almost looks like was it a Caladium Hilo Beauty, but it's an actual legit alocasia. So I'm just going to continue to showcase some of these plants. Again, plant foldies, if you made it this far into the video, please feel free to make sure to press the thumbs up or like button for this video. And when the video ends, if you're able to swipe to the left and also press the hype button, I really want to make sure that this video gets pushed out to more plant lovers, because I want to make sure that these vendors that are selling these amazing plants, such as this snow-capped begonia that I bought from this particular vendor the last time, gets the exposure, and we are aware that there is very much so a strong and positive Dallas-Fort Worth area plant community. So definitely do that and leave some more comments for any of this the vendors that you see as well. And if you are somebody that is on Facebook and are part of the DFW Plant Collective, I am not on Facebook, feel free to actually share this YouTube video out there on your social medias as well, so we can get the DFW Plant Collective trending. And so now we have some more of these Hoyas right over here. You're looking at Jay's Jungle. The Instagram is at jays.jungle. So please follow the Instagram. Jay's Jungle has a bunch of these amazing Hoyas and just all of these other plants that are available. And I regret not being able to pick up a lot of these plants, but it was getting super busy by the time I was filming. And if you notice, plant foldies, I didn't really try to get people in the actual videos, because I try to be respectful even in a public setting, to not get people on camera, because not everybody is comfortable getting on social media. I mean, if you notice, for me, I do faceless YouTube, so you never really see my face. I do focus more so on the plant. So that's the reason why I wasn't able to really pick up a lot of these plants here. But you can see we've got different types of Hoyas. So the Hoya game is definitely strong in the DFW area. And then last but not least, of course, we couldn't go to a DFW plant swap without seeing Peta's Planters. Follow at Peta's Planters. You already know plant foldies. Peta's Planters is one of my favorite local plant shops in the DFW community. I have a long history with Peta and David and just the whole Peeta's Planters team, you already know that they have to have some Aglaonema here. So aside from the one vendor that I ended up getting an Aglaonema from, Peeta's was the only one that has, Aglaonemas for sale. And you can just see that in terms of Peeta's Planters, she has a very diverse selection of plants. I love the fact that you can get syngoniums, you can get succulents, you can get anthurias, philodendron, Hoyas, euphorbia, syndapsis, any type of plant you can possibly imagine. She does have them sourced out. Definitely follow Peeta's Planters on Instagram, because she does have an Instagram live selling event every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can buy plants and she is able to ship. So I really hope for anybody that is interested in buying, say, these plants that she brought to the plant swap, you can still buy these plants. You can send a direct message to her on Instagram. Her team will take care of that, or you can go during an Instagram live selling event on Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's a super fun show, lots of interactive activities on Peeta's Planters. But again, I just love seeing that Peeta was over here. I was able to catch up with her and David, and I haven't been able to make it down to her shop in a while. Life has been really busy. And so for me, it's just really exciting. Again, thank you so much to the DFW Plant Collective for setting up a beautiful event like this to allow vendors to have their beautiful plants on sale. And more importantly, just to foster a very strong plant community. Today's video is all about community and making sure that we are treating our neighbors with kindness, that we are treating each other with positivity, and to really uplift everybody, to encourage everybody to just do better on a daily basis in terms of just how we treat each other. I think plants definitely make people happy. I think plants create a positive community if we allow ourselves to do that, and not necessarily to foster any type of toxicity. And so for me, just to end this video or wrap up this video featuring, of course, Peeta's Planters, I am just really happy to see the growth and the evolution of Peeta's Planters even from a year ago. And I love the fact that even though her plant shop is growing at a rapid point, she has a very strong tie with the DFW community. So, on that note, I definitely want to say that no matter how far somebody comes in life, always remember where you are from, always remember your roots. And, the DFW Plant Collective really does foster that. And I just love seeing that Peeta's Planters, as successful as this plant shop has become, really leans into the community, whether it's the DFW community or whether it's the Plant Foldy community. I did want to say thank you to the Plant Foldy community for always buying plants on the Instagram lives, buying nationwide. And of course, I had to look at this Aglaonema as well. It just brings me so much joy that Peeta is one of the major sources, one of the premier sources to get Aglaonema. You already know we need to say it with me, hashtag popularize Aglaonema. So for any of the vendors that are watching today, please consider joining my YouTube membership tier and also selling Aglaonema, as well as my name is Richie at Growfolds. It was an honor to feature the DFW Plant Collective Plant Swap. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, more content to come.